Hello, guys. Hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Yeah. Thank you for joining us again. Thank you for joining me again today. Welcome to class. Thank you for joining me again. If you're active, if you're in class right now, please can you drop the fire emoji? I see you, Rilwan. Thank you, Rilwan Mohammed. Thank you. Good evening, Ido. Good evening. Evening. Evening, Blessing. Good evening. Thank you guys for coming to class. I see your fire. Priscilla, I see your fire. Thank you. Thank you for coming to class. Thank you, guys. Yes, so we do. I have to eat. I cannot come and keep myself now. I'm not a robot, though, you see. It's not easy, but we're getting there. We thank God. I hope you guys are getting value. Let me see you drop value in the comment section, guys. Let me know if you've been getting value so far. Are you loving the web development class? Are you getting value? Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Ido. Thank you. Good evening, Chidima. Good evening, Chioma. Thank you. You're getting value, Chioma. Thank you, Christina. Thank you. All right. So there we go. I think we have at least we have quite a number of people in class already, so we can start. Okay, so we can start. All right. So quickly, I'm just going to pick up from where we stopped in the last class. In the last class, we looked at different things. I'm gonna make this by zooming so you guys can look see better. Right, let me know if you can see my screen now. Let me know if you can see my screen, guys. Let me know if you can see my screen. All right. So in the last class, we just looked at the things we've done previously. So I won't go over those things again. But however, in the last class, good evening, Emmanuel. Thank you for joining us. Emmanuel. Good evening. Always been class here. We have welcome to class. Welcome to class, Sarah. Welcome to class, Emmanuel. And just make sure we capture everybody, and then we can carry everybody along. All right. 100% clear. Chidima said, or Christiana, sorry. Okay, right. So, in the last class, we looked at how we can link we can link images to website pages. We looked at how we can link images to website pages, and then I told you that we can link images to website pages in different ways, and one of the ways is to actually link it directly by using the link from the internet, or you have the folder. Welcome to class, Sally. Sally, welcome to class. Yeah, I know Sally is one active student as well. I've been seeing Sally in this web development class. Welcome to class. Yeah, so we talked about this yesterday, how we can link images, and then I showed you both ways, both absolute URL and relative URL. So yeah, I won't go into that. If you missed the class, please watch the previous video. And then we looked at the other HTML tags, and then we did something practical with our news, the ugly news website that we were working on. Welcome to class, Williams. I'm saying this name for the first time, but welcome. Right. So you can go back to the previous video as well, and then you see how we utilized all of these tags. They are quite interesting. You may not get to use them every day, but you see bold, strong, and the subscript and subscript. You would most likely use those ones often, and bold, strong as well. You would most likely use it often throughout your web development career. All right. So then we looked at this block quotes as well, and this quotation HTML tags. And I told you, all of this particular set of HTML tags, these ones are really, really interesting, and they are good for SEO. So knowing how to use this particular set of HTML tags, it will be good for you, even if you choose not to become a web developer eventually, and then you probably want to venture into maybe SEO. There's something called technical SEO as well. So you can be a technical SEO expert, and then basically you'll be optimizing all of the content, code, and everything on website. So so you can do become a web developer. But I hope at least we have web developers in this class. If you want to become a web developer, if that is what you're looking for, can you drop fire emoji? Let me know those I would be working with back to back. All right. So yeah, and then I gave more examples of the types of attributes as well, and then by now you should know what attributes are. If you missed the previous class, please go back to the previous videos. Right. So we looked at different attributes, and then what HTML tags each of those attributes are applicable to. I think one that you people would know very well in this group is this href and target blank, because we've used this href a lot, and then we've used target blank a lot as well. So you should know that as well, and then the positions where attributes are, and then the value, and then but now you know what HTML tags are as well. So as well, in the last class I gave you a brief takeaway task, to do this. So I assume everybody might have should have done it by now, because it's very easy. So just for the tasks and the project and everything that you're doing for now, keep piling them up. Eventually we are going to collect everything, and then in the last phase of this program, maybe I'm going to be the first instructor to tell you, but in the last phase of this program, you might have seen our banners and all that. We are going to pull students together into one group, and then you guys would have to use your resources and come up with a project, and we are going to be awarding the finalists. But it's not just about the award, it's not just about the money at the end of the program. It is also about you having a portfolio, you working in a team, and then all of those things will be what you're going to need in the future to show your employers, you participated in this boot camp, and then this is what you did when you were there. You worked with a diverse team, or you worked with a number, a group of people, and all of those things. So you need all of those things for your portfolio. You need it for your journey ahead. So if you do them, if you do the tasks, and then eventually you fall into the group, you'll be doing yourself a big favor. So let's go into today's class. There is no time to waste. Let's go into today's class. So today we plan to talk about block and inline elements. By now you'll be thinking okay, so what is block, and then what is inline element? I'm sorry I don't have a slide for this particular class, because I had to rush, so I may not necessarily use slide. So everything that we're going to be doing today is going to be more possible to zoom in my Visual Studio Code, and then the output as well, so you can see everything. So right now, what I would like you to do right now is open your Visual Studio Code if you are yet to open it, and then open a fresh page as well in your Visual Studio Code. right. Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me share my screen with you guys so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, let me know in the comment section. Whilst I try, let me know in the comment section is have anyone been struggling with any of the tasks so far? Is there any question you think you have on the tasks that we've been doing so far? Let me know if there's anything that you're struggling with, and I'll see if it's a quick question that I can answer or help you with. Any question at all? I'm looking at the comment section, guys. If you have any specific question, feel free to drop it in there. Okay, so whilst we are wasting questions, by now you should have opened your Visual Studio Code, and what I want you to do is basically open a new folder, create a new folder entirely. So if you click on, I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Let me see if I can zoom in for you so you'll be able to see my screen. Okay. All right, so I'm zoomed in now, so I assume you can see my screen better now. Honestly, it has been easy as a newbie. I see, okay, see that comment. Thank you, Sally. It's good to know it has been easy and then you're getting value. I'm new here, I need help to meet up. Basi. All right, we'll sort that out later, Basi. Okay, so Basi, anyway, the best thing for you to do is, because we're using YouTube, so that is one of the advantages of YouTube. Go back to the previous videos and then you can catch up that way. They are only about an hour or less than an hour anyway. So open your new Visual Studio Code, and what I want you to do is to create a new folder. This time around, I want you to create a new folder. Right. So if you just click on open folder, so where you have, you should be using the same folder where you have all of the things that we've been doing so far. So in there, just create a new folder entirely for this particular project, and then let's call that folder, what should we call the folder today, this time around? Let me think of a name for this folder. Let's call it all right, so let's call it menu website. Let's call it menu website because I have the intention of creating a restaurant menu with HTML table later on. So let's call it menu website. So we're going to create a restaurant menu with HTML, but not today. However, I'm going to introduce you briefly to it today. Okay. So this menu website, by now you should know what to do. Click on this icon, which is to create a new file. Index.html. Index.html is the default or first page you want to create, guys. When you're creating a new page, by now you should know that as well. And by now you should know you want to save all your HTML files with .html, which is the HTML extension. Okay, so the next thing that we want now is the HTML boilerplate. If anyone can still remember what HTML boilerplate is, and then it is basically the first for HTML before you start writing every other code in there. Okay. So I'm looking at the comment section now. What are people saying? Alright, so I'm looking at the comment section. I'm new here. I need help. We'll sort that out later. Honestly, it has been easy as a newbie. You've seen that as well. Thank you. It's good to know the value. So my downloaded picture is not showing on my code pen from day 2. Okay, yeah. So Williams, your downloaded picture would not show in your code pen, and yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Your downloaded picture would not show in your code pen simply because that is not what sorry, simply because CodePen is on the internet and CodePen is not in your local, it is not in your local, it's not in your local device. So what you just need to do is to take that code from CodePen and then paste it into your Visual Studio Code. So once you paste it into your Visual Studio Code, then go back into your folder where you kept your where you've been saving all your files all this while. Where you've been saving all your files all this while, go back in there and then simply just right. So simply just click on the folder. Let me show you what I'm sorry, I'm saying things and then I'm doing another thing at the same time, just to make sure we get going with the class. All right, so this is what I'm trying to say here. If you can see my screen, let me know if you can see my screen, William. I'm answering your question specifically right now. Right, so this should be all of the folders that we have so far, and then the one you're talking about is this HTML news. So you should be able to see your file like this. I'm sorry, you can't see my screen as well. You can't see my screen. You can't see my screen. Just a minute, sorry. You can't see my screen. Guys, let me make that screen visible for you so we can carry everybody along. All right. I've been saving all our files, and then so far we have this folders called using the same name to save your folders. Your folders should all look like this. So go into the HTML news, and then your file, your index file in that HTML news, should be able to you should be able to open it in your browser. So just copy that code from Visual Studio Code, and then open that file in your browser, and you should have something like this. You should be able to see something like this. So your image should work once you copy the code from CodePen into your Visual Studio Code and save it. Your image should work. So this was everything that we did on that news website, and then so yeah, if you're still struggling anyway, let me know in the comment section if you're still struggling. But I think that should explain and that should fix the problem. So let's dive into today's class, guys, so we don't just waste more time. So when you want to start creating any HTML website or any website, you want to start, HTML is the structure of any website. So you want to start with your HTML boilerplate. And this is what HTML boilerplate is. This is what HTML boilerplate is. Basically, you have, you define the doc type again, HTML again, and then here you have head. You have head here. And inside head, we usually have title. And then open and close tags, guys, don't forget. So this title today now, I want you to name it menu website. I want you to name it menu website, so we see how that title works as well today. All right, so we have menu website. So what we want to talk about today is HTML block and inline elements. HTML block and inline elements. That's the topic for today. And then we're going to briefly touch HTML tables as well. We're going to briefly touch HTML tables as well. But before we go into HTML tables, it is important that we talk about inline and block elements. So basically, what are block elements? Block elements, they always start on a new line, and then the browser automatically adds some space or margin to them before and after the elements. So before and after the elements, the browser would always add some space and margins to them, and then they always start in can have a better understanding of what block elements are. So your paragraph tag, by now you should know paragraph tag. Paragraph tag is an example of block element. And let's say this is the menu website, or better still, let's say welcome to the menu website. All right. So if we save that and then we go into our folder, okay, oh my gosh, you guys cannot see. You guys can't see what I'm doing. All right, so sorry about that. If you have been following. Sorry about that. So I'll take that again, yeah. So I said every time you want to create an HTML website, you need the HTML boilerplate, and obviously by now you should know you want to define the doc type, which is HTML. And even more interesting, you can use the language attributes there, but for the purpose of this training, I'm not going to do that because we don't want to do anything intense yet. And then you want to put the open tag and closing tag for HTML, and then define head. Inside head, they must always be a title inside head, and after head there is body. There is body after head. Then inside body there can be several other things as well, like this paragraph tag that I'm writing right now. All right, so I want to show you the difference between block elements and inline elements. And earlier on I just said block elements are the type of HTML tags that start on a new line. So the outputs would always pop up on a new line, while inline elements basically just stays on the same line. And I'm going to show you what that means, the difference between the two type of HTML elements or HTML tags. Right. So this is a paragraph tag, and then paragraph tags are basically an example of block elements. So now you should just if you can duplicate this code on your end, duplicate this code, create the HTML boilerplate and duplicate this. When you're done with that, open your file. If you open your file, you should have something like this. When you're done with that and you open your file, you should have something like this. I just zoomed in, guys. It's not going to be this big on your hand, but basically it is right. So once you do that, then I want you to use a new tag. I want you to use the anchor tag. Let's use the anchor tag, guys. You're familiar with this one anyway, so let's use it. So this again is the benefit of using Visual Studio Code, because it's going to write everything for you. This is the A tag. Alright, so don't worry about the content we are writing right now. The major thing is I just want to show you the difference between inline and the other one. Okay. All right, so if you notice here, this is the paragraph tag, which is the P tag. This is the paragraph tag, which is the P tag. And then this is the A tag, which is the anchor tag. Although it is starting on a new line here, the anchor tag is starting on a new line here. But if I put another paragraph tag there, it would most likely be on the same line like this, instead of starting on a new line under again. So this paragraph tag is an example of block tag, and every time you write a block tag, it's going to start under the previous one, like that. It will not start on the same line like that. But inline will start on the same line. So with that theory in your head, let us go back into the code. So this is the P tag, right? And then I said this one is a block tag. Better still, let us put the code there. Sorry, not block tag. Let's use the right thing, guys. Element, block element, and then this is the A tag, which is inline. All right. So now to show you the difference, what I'm going to do is, first off, I want to duplicate this. And then you see, if you can see on the code, I'm starting at the bottom here. I'm not starting at the same line. In the code, I'm starting at the bottom. I'm not on the same line. So let me just put second there to differentiate it. If it is too long, it may break to the same to the second line. But we'll see. If it is too long, we are going to reduce the word. Our output and refresh. And what you notice here right now is that, good news, it did not break. It is not too long, so we're good. What you notice right here is that, everything is staying on the same line. Although some parts broke to the next line, and that is only because it is too long. But maybe if I zoom out, there we go. If I zoom out, everything stays on the same line, so there's enough space for it to stay on the same line. But if I zoom in, it will have no choice than to break to the next line. But then this paragraph tags, it is still staying. This paragraph tag is still on top. And then I said this one is an example of block tag, and this one is an example of example of inline elements, and example of what am I saying? Let me take that again, guys. Example of block element and example of inline element. So you've seen an example of inline element now. The way it's kind of like stays on the same line. So let us try the same thing that we just did with inline elements. Let us try that with a block element, and we're using this paragraph tag. All right, so if we duplicate the paragraph tag as well, and let us put second there so we can differentiate it as well. Let's put second there so we can differentiate it. Okay. So why even right? I'll introduce something else in this code, but let's just carry on this way. I believe you guys can still see my screen. If you can still see my screen, please drop the fire emoji. Let me know you can see my screen. Let me know you can see my screen, guys. If you're still with me, let me know. Okay. So if I just refresh this, there we go. What you notice right now is that the block tag, it is starting on a new line. It is not on the same line like this. It is starting on a new line. But unlike the inline element, it is staying on the same line. So that is just the literally the way the meaning in English is literally what it means. Like that is just what it does. So block, it will start on different lines, and then inline is going to stay on the same line. So it is good this, because once you start going into CSS and something breaks, you would understand the reason why that thing breaks, and then you understand the reason why it breaks. Basically, how you can format it further with CSS. But we're going to go into CSS next week, guys. I'm really excited for CSS, and yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in class. So that is the difference between inline and block element. So for the benefit of this course, or for this program, I'm going to put all of the examples of inline elements. I'm going to put them on screen right now so you can see. However, I'm going to delete it, but I'll put it on the screen right now so you can see. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of different type of inline tags. So the address that we used yesterday is an example of block level element, or block level tag. It's an example of block tag. And then remember, guys, all tags come with opening tags and closing tags, but the closing tags are not here because I'm just showing you examples here. So if you want to use it, open tag and closing tags, guys, remember that. Then we have article as well. Article is another one that I'll introduce you to. It is kind of like a new concept in HTML with HTML5, but so far we've just been doing basic HTML. Right, so article is just the same way, open tag and closing tag. Then we have our side starts on in a new level as well. There's block quotes, there's canvas, block quotes. Block quotes, guys. There's this DD. I don't even know what that one do. I can't remember. Sorry, not like I don't know what it does. Maybe delete or something. Then there's div tag. Yeah, so this div tag is very, very important because we're going to be using it a lot, or you are going to be using it a lot when you finally become a web developer. Literally everything on web development page is built around this div tag. It is built around this div tag, and then the full meaning of div tag. The full meaning of div tag. So div tag, what is the most important thing for you to know about div tag is like is like it's boxes can have, for example, we can have obviously closing and open tag for div tags, and then we have something inside it. And then we have another div tag again, maybe right under. So you can have like multiple div tags on the website page, and basically what the div tag is doing is like a division. So the full meaning of div tag is basically division. So it is kind of like separating the content of your website. It is separating the content of your website. For example, quick example. Let's go into Lagos. Let's go to Lagos base. I like to use Lagos base because I know no police is going to come and hold me and say, "Why am I saying this or that about their website?" All right. So if we inspect, by now you should know how to inspect, guys. We've been doing it a lot. And then I try to zoom in as well. I think you guys can see. You notice immediately you can see the div tag here, yeah. And if you open it, you see another div tag. And then you open it, you see another div tag, and then open a div tag everywhere. So basically, this division tag or div tag is used to divide the website. Right. So if I stretch this a little bit further, so I can just show you the example. So if I click on right, further down, right. So if you notice when I over on this, you can see that blue highlight by the left. You can see the blue highlights by the left, and then if I open it further, and then just keep clicking. Let me see if it's going to eventually show a single box. Or better still, we can do this. Click on the particular element and then inspect it. Right. So there we go. So if you notice now, you can see the blue highlight is staying on. The blue highlight is staying on one particular element on our website, and then basically this is the idea of div tags. This is what div tag does. Div tag would kind of like, so this is the idea of div tag. Div tag would kind of like break your website down into structures for you or sections for you. And there are several other tags that you can use similar to div tags, like this section. But however, div tag, everything tends to like live inside div tag. So div tag is for division, and then it is for creating all of the little boxes or there can be several other. It's for dividing the website and No, guys, and then it is an example of block in HTML table. So you can still hear me. Please let me see you drop file. Hi guys, I don't know if you can still hear me. I went off there for a minute. I don't know if you can still hear me. If you can hear me, please drop fire emoji. Please drop the fire emoji if you can still hear me. Anyone, just someone. I only need one person to drop a fire emoji, please. Anyone at all? Just one person. Fire emoji. Let me know if you're still with me. Let me know if you're still with me, guys. Okay, thank you, Williams. Thank you, Williams. I can see your fire emoji. Thank you. Thank you, Williams. All right. So I went off a bit there, and then I'm back now anyway. Let us wrap this up. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're almost there. All right. So if I show you my screen again, back to it, and then I was just talking about the div tag. I'm not sure where you guys lost me, but you can always ask me questions in the comment section. Let me know where I went off. Let me know if I talked about this div tag before I went off. But anyways, yeah. So back into it. Div tag is very important, and then I just showed you how it can be used. So there are several other HTML block tags as well. There's figure. So there's footer. Footer is one HTML5 tag as well. There's form. This form is really important. We're going to dive into HTML tables. Obviously, you've seen H1 to 6. And what I think I can do is I can create a document, a Word note for you, and then list all of the examples of necessary for this class. Our time is limited. I'll send you a note through it though, and then on elements tag. Just like the elements tag as well. And the example that we used in this that we used for today's class is this anchor tag. Anchor tag is an example of inline elements tag, and then you just saw the way anchor tag behaves when you use it. It won't drop on the second line. It will stay on the same line. You know the difference between block and inline elements tags now. So there are several other tags like that behave just like the anchor tag, a tag as well. There is acronym, there is big. Those two are not really in use anymore. They are kind of like outdated now. And then there's BL, there's button, there is site, there is code. There is image as well. Does not break into to the next line, to stay on the same line. There is select is one popular one. Strong basically is just to make your paragraph text bold, and then there's subscript and subscript. and we've used all those files too. So all of those codes will stay on the same line. Again, I'll create a document, I'll send it through the community manager. You don't have to worry about knowing all of the tags today. It is not necessary. So right, let us dive into something interesting called HTML table. Let us dive into something interesting called HTML table. So I don't know if you guys can still see my screen. William, you dropped fire emoji the other time. Thank you. If you can still see my screen, guys, let me see another person. Just drop another fire emoji. Anyone at all, drop the fire emoji. Let me know if you can still hear me and you can still see my screen if you're following the class. So we are about to go into HTML table now. HTML table is very important. You're going to need it throughout. Thank you, Lawan. Lawan is very active. Thank you. You're going to need HTML table throughout your journey as a web developer. Ido, thank you. Sarah, thank you, Sarah. I can see your fire emoji. So you're going to need HTML table throughout your journey as a web developer. Every now and then, you're going to need HTML table. Right. So what we want to do, we won't be able to finish this today, but I'm going to introduce HTML table to you today. And tomorrow we are going to build our restaurant menu website properly tomorrow with HTML table. But for today, I'm going to introduce HTML table to you. So with HTML table, there are a set of tags that are important for you to know. First off is the table tag, and then greater than and less than, guys. When you're writing tags, by now you should know. And then open tag and closing tag, by now you should know as well. So the table tag is the actual table. It is the structure, similar to I won't say that, so I won't confuse you. But anyways, all you really need to know that the table tag is the actual table. So you want to define the table tag first, or write the table tag first, and then there's another tag called tr. Again, I'll create a note on all of this that will better break it down for you, so you can read that note and then you have better understanding. But now let's just do the practicals. Right, so we have another tag called tr, and tr basically just means table row. So if you think of it like the good table. So I'm using this Word document. So I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Yeah, you guys. So for this Word documents, let me just insert table. So I just show you the layout before we go to the actual thing. All right. So let's do one. Okay. All right. So as you can see my screen, guys. So basically, this is a table here. This is a table. All of the columns outside. Okay. So this is a table. The whole thing as a whole is this table tag. The whole thing as a whole is this table tag, and then this part here, this cell, I would say cell. This cell here is like table row. But inside of this cell, then we can now have another cell inside of that cell. Right. So if we have another cell inside of that other cell, it is called or TD. So basically TH or TD tags. TH tag is the table heading, and then there's another tag called TD, which is table details. We're going to go into details, so don't worry. But what I want you to understand, the reason why I bring out this Word document is that, if we have a table, a whole table, then we can have one cell, and that cell can have another cell, So basically, we have a whole table. We have to define the whole table first, and then we have to define the table row, and then maybe the table header, and so on and so forth. So with a little bit of graphics on the screen, I think you should get the concept. However, it's always best we go into the code so you see what I'm trying to say. So this is table row. TR simply means table row. And then inside the table row, I want us to have three columns. Yeah, I want us to have three columns in there. So this is the table header called TH. Let's call this first one food. Then we close it. Again, remember guys, open tag and closing tags. Let's call this one price. No, let's call this one time. And let's call this one. I don't sell food, guys, so excuse me if this is not the right layout for a restaurant menu. But however, what I know how to do is to write code. So let me show you the output. I've saved that, and let's just go into the output. This is what we have so far, so we just need to refresh, and then what we can see right here is we have our table gradually building up. But you notice there's no it is not obvious that it is a table. It is just sitting out like that. You cannot see border around it to know it is a table. Don't worry about that, we'll get into that later. We're just introducing HTML table for now. So right, we have that header there, and then we have table row. So let us create another table row. So table row is just like a column. Yeah, table row is like a column, and then inside that column you can have cells in there, kind of, or you can have other columns inside the column. But you get the idea as we build. As we write the code, you get the idea. So this is TD. TD now is like table details. So we have the header on top, and then the details below. Header on top, details below. So let us say the first TD, which is the first table details. Let's say yes. And I just copy that and duplicate it 3 times. So if you have 3 headers, you need to have 3 details. It's not compulsory that you fill in something inside. It can be empty. You don't have to fill a text inside. It can be empty, but you must write the tag to match the amount of headers that you have. Tomorrow I'll go into more details, you understand better, but just follow for now so you get the concept. Right. So the first thing is food, the next thing is time. Let's say maybe 2 p.m. and then the last one is price. Let's say I don't know, 10 naira. I don't think there's any way they say 10 naira rice now, dude. Everything don't hard, country hard, but as well. Right. So we have that, and that is like our first menu list. And then we can have another table that will be the second menu list. Should be TR. So this is another table row again. Let us pull the table details. And let's just say maybe this one brings. Let's make the time this time around 4 p.m. because it takes time to cook beans. And then price maybe 15 naira because beans is more expensive. Right, so if I save that now, and then let us go into our output. Let us refresh. So you notice you immediately you see the output now. You should be able, let me just zoom in better so it is good. You notice the pattern is it is actually sitting in a table. The only thing that is difficult right now is that you cannot see the borders to determine if it is a table or not. But clearly you can see this, and then you can see it is a table. So that is the concept of HTML tables, guys. That is the concept of HTML table. Tomorrow we are going to make it more interesting. Put border around it. We are going to dive into CSS tomorrow. So I'm really excited for this one, guys. I think most of you might have been waiting for this one. So from tomorrow we're going to dive into CSS. We're going to start with inline CSS tomorrow. We're going to do something a little bit more fancy tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to make this table. We are going to make it have a border around it. We are going to make it bigger and larger. We are going to put background colors into it and make it a little bit more beautiful with CSS tomorrow. So we'll start that tomorrow. But anyway, that is the idea of the basic concept of HTML table and how HTML table kind of work. So there are other tags as well that you can use around the HTML table. The way you can define things and all of that, I'll show you tomorrow. But for today, that is just how HTML table works. So for the takeaway tags, guys, I'm not asking much of you. All I want you to do is just everything that we've done, all the code that we've written today, basically replicate it, guys, and save it in your folder. So just replicate everything that we've written for today and save it in your folder. I don't know if you guys can see my screen, but I will try to scroll down little by little. So if you have to watch back, you can type it one by one. So I'll leave that on the screen for some time and then just scroll down small. So when you want to rewatch it, you can pause and play and literally type everything word for word or code for code. I'm thinking of the best way to do this. So maybe from next week we are going to start. We're going to use what's this thing called? We're going to use Google Classroom. Maybe we're going to use Google Classroom to distribute all of these documents to you, so you have a copy of documents as well to yourself. So that's it, guys. Thank you for attending class today, and I will see you again tomorrow. Williams, Lawan, thank you. You guys have been really active in class. Thank you, Lawan. Thank you, William. Thank you, Sally. Sally has been active as well. And every other person, Christiana, Blessing, Chioma, Emmanuel, and Sarah, everybody, thank you. Mohammed, Amen as well. I see you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming to class today. So I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to start with something interesting, CSS. We're going to dive into CSS tomorrow. We're going to go further into HTML table, and then we're going to use CSS, inline CSS for the first time to add colors and then just beautify the HTML table and actually create our website, our first website, which is going to be a restaurant menu. So thank you for watching, guys, and see you tomorrow. Bye.